Hi, it's Kiana Miner from the Crazy Courage Blueprint. Can I ask you a question? What's the first emotion you feel when you wake up in the morning? You know, before you speak, before you scratch that first itch, before you even open your eyes. How do you feel? Wait, before you answer that question, I want to share a secret with you. Come a little closer, I don't bite. You see, those first few moments in the morning are sacred. They will tell you more about how you feel about your own life than any other moment during your day. These moments are when we have real conversations and real engagement with our soul, our spirit, our life. What do you say in the silence of your mind during what I like to call the morning moment? Elizabeth Gilbert, author of Eat, Pray, Love, said that our minds are scary places that we wouldn't want to be caught in at night. What she means by this is our minds are full of so much negativity, negative thoughts, criticism, and judgments that we have about ourselves that they can be really scary places sometimes. Yet we know that everything in life, every dream, every idea, every achievement comes from our imaginations. They come from our minds. So when are we going to get our minds right so that we can start to birth the genius that lives within us? I have found that there are three main emotions that most people experience during this morning moment. We experience regret about something that did or didn't happen yesterday. We experience overwhelm about what we have to do today. Most of us are making our to-do list before we even put our feet on the ground for the day. And the third emotion is bliss. Bliss is feeling satisfied that you're exactly where you're supposed to be in the moment. You're doing exactly what you were put here to do. You are living your purpose. That is bliss. Which one of these describes you? Do you wake up feeling like life is a dance that you can't wait to be a part of? Or do you wake up smacking the snooze button, wanting to go back to bed because you just don't feel like the day has anything miraculous to offer you? You see, no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, there's one thing we all want at the end of the day, and that's to feel like a winner. We want to feel like we freaking nailed it. We were motivated, we were skilled, and we got shit done. We want the peace of knowing that we did good work. The problem is we strive for this feeling by doing, so that by the end of the day, we're tired and exhausted and stressed. And so we go to bed with these emotions, and most of us wake up with these emotions, and we think, oh, not this again. What if I told you there's a way you can start your day feeling peaceful, feeling like a winner, feeling like you just can't lose? And if you start your day this way, that is what you will create. A day of winning, a life of winning. This is how you create that beautiful life you've always dreamed of living. Starting your day like a winner is something we've all experienced. Usually this comes after we've made a major accomplishment. Maybe we just graduated from school, we got a new job, we've fallen in love, we've gotten married. We will wake up feeling like nothing can go wrong this day, feeling like you're already on top of the world. And usually when you wake up feeling that way, your day, there's nothing that can happen in your day that's going to go wrong, right? You feel so much power, so much emotion, so much energy to get the things done that you really want to get done. You feel unstoppable. The problem with this is that most of us wait until something outside of ourselves happens in order to throw us into this state of mind. But I want to tell you that this is a state of mind that you can consciously create every morning. This is a state of mind that I call courage. This is the courage that you can bring to each and every day, and that you can ultimately bring to your life to make those changes, to make those shifts you've always wanted to make. You see, courage isn't something you either have or don't have. Courage is something you must consciously call up every single day of your life. And I can show you how to do this. Courage has to become the new constant in your life. Anyone who has ever achieved something amazing, miraculous, something that we thought was impossible before they achieved it, any of those people have figured out a way to make courage a constant in their life. It is not something that they just hope they have. It is something that they consciously call up out of themselves every single day. The lack of courage is why so many people don't live their dreams. They're gung-ho about their dreams one day, and then they're lukewarm the next. And this inconsistency in their energy creates inconsistency in their life. So let me ask you a question. Are you at peace with your life? Before you answer that, let me tell you something. There's a difference between having peace with your life and creating an illusion of peace in your life. Peace is knowing that you're exactly where you were meant to be, that you are absolutely given your gut best to life. The illusion of peace is something that we create where we lie to ourselves and we tell ourselves we're living our best life when we're not really living our best life. The good news is that if you're a human being, you are hardwired to live your best life. Deep, deep, deep down inside of you, you cannot be satisfied with a mediocre life. You must live your best in order to be satisfied. The bad news is that in order to quiet this yearning to live our best life, some of us will lie to ourselves. I've done this before. You lie to yourself and you tell yourself, this is the best. This is the best that I can do, when it's not really the truth. And, I've experienced this myself where I have lied to myself and told myself, well, this is the best that I can do. I have to make money. I have to, live this way because this is the best that I'm capable of living. And I knew deep down that this was a lie. So eventually, I would leave the lifestyle that I was living that I felt was limiting me. And usually this involved quitting a job. And I want to tell you that every single time I have ever quit a job, the people at that job, the people at that company have always told me that I was making the biggest mistake of my life. That this was the best company in the world to work for and that I would be back. And this has happened. I started working my first job when I was 18 years old. This has happened since I was 18 years old. People have always told me this is the best company. This is the best that life has to offer. And if you leave this, you are crazy to give all of this up. And years later, months later, years later, I would look back on that job and leaving it was the best thing I ever could have done. And life only got better. And so I started to think, why do people say this? And I started talking to friends who had quit jobs, and everyone has that similar experience. Every time you're trying to leave something, the people who are still there they don't tell you, oh, but I'm so happy here that I think that's weird that you want to leave. I'm so happy. This is the best my life has ever been. People rarely say that. They say, you're crazy because the world out there is a scary place. And this is the best that life has to offer. This is what they tell you. And so I wonder, why do people say this? Why do people try to convince you that where you're at is the best that life is ever going to get? But I realize that they try to convince you of that is because they believe it. Most people have had to convince themselves that where they're at in their life, whether it's a job or a relationship or whatever, where they're at in their life is the best that life can ever get. Because like I said, we have that yearning to be the best. And if we're not consciously creating the best in our lives, then we'll just lie to ourselves. We'll just create an illusion of peace, an illusion of satisfaction, an illusion of the best, so that we don't have to go through the change and the transition and the transformation to actually create it. So if you're wondering, am I living a peaceful life? Am I living my best life? Or am I living an illusion of the best? This is the best way for you to know. Have you ever had that experience where you've heard from a friend or a friend of a friend who is living an amazing life? They are traveling all over the world. Maybe they've moved halfway across the world. They started their own business. They got married or had children. Whatever it is that they did, they are freaking rocking it. They are just on fire. And every time you hear something else about them, you're like, what is this person on? They are freaking killing it. And first you're fascinated. And then you're just a little jealous. You just get a little ting of, well, what in the world do they have that I don't? Why do they get to do this and I don't? And then the third phase is critical. You find something about their lives, some little thing about their lives to criticize. Well, they ain't all that because this happened to them, or they did this, or I heard that this or that is really going on in their lives. And you start to create these nuggets of criticism. And then the fourth stage is a reaffirmation of where you're at. A reaffirmation of that's exactly why I need to stay right where I'm at. That's exactly why I'm doing it this way, because this is the best way. Those are the 4 stages of the illusion, of creating the illusion of the best. And that cycle is a very vicious cycle that will keep you in your limitations. It will keep you exactly where you're at, because you've convinced yourself that where you're living, where you're at today is the best. And you know deep down inside that it's not. You know you could be doing more. You know you could be living more. You can feel it. You get visions of it. You get ideas of it. And what do you do with these ideas when you're living the illusion of the best? Is you push them down. You push them out of your mind. You try not to think about them. You know, Plato has a story about this. It's called the allegory of the cave. And it's about people who live in a cave, who watch shadows. All their lives, all they've ever seen are shadows cast upon the wall from light. But they start to believe that the shadows are the truth. The shadows are the reality. And this is the illusion. And then one of them breaks free one day, and he's taken up and he sees the light. He sees the light of the sun for the first time. And it totally blows his mind. It almost blinds him, because he didn't realize the brilliance that existed in the world. He didn't realize this brilliant light was truth. He thought that the shadows he had seen his whole life were truth. And this is what I want to tell you, is that so many of us live in a cave of our own making. We live in a cave where we have created illusions, and we believe that these illusions are the best that life has to offer. And though it may be painful, though it may hurt, though it involves change and transformation, we must come out and look at the light. Because the light is so much more magnificent than even our dreams can tell us. Our dreams pale in comparison to what is really waiting for us when we get out of our own caves and we behold the light of the sun. So that person that's living their dream makes us angry. It makes us jealous, and it makes us critical when we're only living our possible. We're only doing what we think is possible in our lives, and they've gone beyond that and they're living their dreams. During the Crazy Courage webinar, I talked to leaders and millionaires and artists, and I asked them how did they become their most courageous selves? How do they call up courage in order to do the things, the miraculous things that they have done in the world? And without fail, every single one of them had a routine. They had something that they did to make sure that they showed up in life as their best self, something they did every single day. And I want to share with you the commonality of all of those people, and even of myself, because I've had this experience too. And I want to share with you what I did. And before I do that, let me just tell you that I haven't always been here. I haven't always lived a life that I was absolutely in love with. And don't get me wrong, my life is not perfect. By any stretch of the means, my life is not perfect. And it's still a work in progress. I still have things that I want to do, things that I want to accomplish. But the fact that I'm even standing here right now, looking at you and doing this, giving you this information is a dream come true. This is something I've always wanted to do, but I've put it on the back burner, and I've done things that I felt like were possible for me right now. But what I'm doing today is totally divine inspiration. It's exactly what is coming up to me, coming up out of my intuition, and it's telling me you must share this with the world. And I'm just so grateful to be in this place where I can do that. But it hasn't always been that way for me. There's so many times where I have sacrificed what I really wanted to make other people happy. I wanted other people to be proud of me, and so I sacrificed what I really wanted in order to do what was expected of me. I have always had really great parents who've always motivated me, and they've always told me to be myself. But as I got out there in the world, you know, as I came up through our school system, there are cultural expectations that are placed on you, especially when you're a good student, when you make A's and you make good grades. There are expectations that people have of you. And I found myself becoming a victim of those expectations of get a good job, buy a house, you know, settle down, do all of these things, none of which called to my soul, none of which made me come alive, none of which brought me closer to God or the universe, whatever language you want to use. None of these things woke me up. And so when I would wake up in the morning, I spent my morning moment regretting that I had to do this all over again. I spent my morning moment feeling like, oh my gosh, not this again. I used to hit the snooze button 7 times. I'm telling you the truth. I hit the snooze button 7 times. And at one point, I realized that something had to change, that something had to give, because my life was passing me by. I was in my 20s. I was having a quarter-life crisis. And I realized that my life was passing me by and that I needed to do something to wake up and to start to bring more energy, more focus, more dreamy goodness to my life. And so I started focusing on those first few moments when I woke up in the morning. And I want to tell you exactly what I did in order to really change my life. I'm sharing this with you because I don't want you to finish this video not knowing this information. Because this information, while it may seem simplistic, is truly life-changing. So here are the 3 things that I did to change my life during my morning moment. When I first woke up in the morning, when I first became conscious that I was awake for the day, I would focus on my vision. I would have a very clear vision for what I wanted my life to be. And a clear vision doesn't mean that you have all the details figured out. It simply means you have a clear idea of what you want your life to look like, what you want it to feel like. And that's what I did. I focused on my vision for what I wanted my life to look like. Then I focused on my belief. I had to strengthen my belief that what I envisioned was possible. Because no matter what you say you believe, this is another illusion we create. We say we believe that we can do anything. We say we believe that all things are possible. We even say, we say the Bible verse. We know it by heart. All things are possible through Christ who strengthens us. We all say it. And no matter what religion you're a part of, there's a sentiment of that in every religion, that all things are possible. And we say that we believe this, but the truth is we don't really believe it, right? We don't live like we believe it. We believe that we have all these limitations on our lives. And so I spent my morning moment really focusing on building belief that my vision is possible. Because we only believe, if you want to know what you believe, look at your life. Your life is a direct reflection of what you believe is possible in life. So if you're not where you want to be, then you got to work on your belief. You have to start to infuse yourself with belief that whatever you envision is possible. And the third thing is a secret that people just don't talk about. A lot of people will not tell you how important this is, but this is the most important step. And I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. The third thing you have to do is you have to create a habit of envisioning your future and strengthening your belief. This has to become a daily process. If you really want your life to change, and change for good, change permanently, not just, some great thing happens and then you're back doing what you were doing before. But if you really want your life to change, you have to create consistency. You have to create a way for you to call up courage every single day. The courage to focus on your vision, the courage to cultivate belief. You have to do this on a regular basis. When I started really cultivating this morning moment, my whole life changed. And it didn't change overnight. Little by little, I got stronger. I started to access my power more and more. I became more and more focused on the life that I really wanted to live. And people around me started saying, "Are you crazy?" Hence the name Crazy Courage. But are you crazy? You're really going to do that? You're really going to give this up? You really believe that you can do that? And this is honest to God truth. This is what people will say to me. And this is what people will say to you. And the more you continue to do this morning moment, the more you'll be like, obviously I know something that everyone else doesn't know. Obviously, I've tapped into something that other people haven't tapped into. And that's exactly why I'm here right now, because I feel like this is something that I need to teach. Because too many people looked at me with dreams in their eyes, asking me, how can you do this? And I feel like this is my ministry. I feel like this is what I have to give to the world. So you know the basic process of what you have to do in order to live your best and most courageous life. You have to have a clear vision, you have to strengthen your belief, and you have to make this practice consistent. But let me tell you a little bit more detail. Let's really dive in, and let me tell you exactly what I did, the exact steps that I took in order to make this happen. So I started my day with a quote. And this was a quote that helped to confirm my own vision for my life. This is a quote about all that was possible for my life. And it came from people who have done miraculous things. It came from people that I consider the geniuses of our time, of our culture, even of the past. So I would read things from people like Nelson Mandela or Walt Whitman, Gandhi, Paramahansa Yogananda, Jesus Christ. I would read things from Buddha, read things from people who changed the world in some way, who brought their gifts to the world and were able to really shift the world. Because let me tell you, the way that the world will change, the way you can guarantee that the world will change is you must commit to giving your gift to the world. All of us were born with gifts, and our gifts can change the world. They really can. I really believe this, and I hope you believe this too, is that you're not going to change the world by living the status quo life. It's like we all say that we want the world to change, but then we all do the things that everyone else does. We all do the things that people have always done. And we wonder why the world isn't changing. The world has to change. The world will only change when we decide to do something different. Difference and change, they're the same thing. We must think, believe, and act differently in order to change the world. And there's a seed within you that has the potential to change the world. So, and that seed is your gift. But anyway, I'm off on another tangent. So I would infuse myself. I would read a quote or some literature, some writing by someone who I just thought was absolutely amazing and who has brought something amazing to this world. I would read an inspirational quote. I would reflect on the quote, and I would start to listen to my own intuition. I would listen for what my own inner self had to say. What was their response to this quote? What did they have to tell me for the day? What is it that I needed to know in this moment? So I would connect to my intuition and allow it to speak to me. And then the third thing I would do is I would say an affirmation. And I would stick to pretty much the same theme as the quote and what my intuition has told me for the day. And I would say an affirmation that really helped me to make this a part of my life. And sometimes I would look in a mirror and say the affirmation, because when you look in a mirror and you speak into your own eyes and you repeat an affirmation at least 3 times, it really makes the affirmation more real for you. You really convince yourself to believe this information, to believe this affirmation. So I would say an affirmation like, only good awaits me, only good awaits me, only good awaits me. Everything that I dream of is possible in my life. Everything that I dream of is possible in my life. Everything I dream of is possible in my life. My highest dream is revealing itself to me right now. My highest dream is revealing itself to me right now. My highest dream is revealing itself to me right now. This process created a profound shift for me. It really made changing my life so much easier than it had been before. It was as if I had plugged myself in and I had access to power that I had never had access to before. My confidence soared, I believed in myself, and I actually acted in this belief. When I hosted the Crazy Courage webinar, I got so many emails, so many messages from people telling me that it changed their life. But the overwhelming question was, now what? How do I take this information and really move forward in my own life? How do I accomplish my own dreams? You know, it's great that all these people are living their dream life, but how do I accomplish my own dreams? How do I go after my own dreams and make them a reality in my life? And so that's when I really started to think about, what are these people doing, the people that I interviewed, what are they doing to make major shifts in their lives? What did they do? And what did I do to change my own life? And I created a resource called The Daily Dose of Crazy Courage. This resource, it comes in a book format. It also comes as an audio program. This book is me walking you through 30 plus days of plugging into your own power, of calling up your courage and becoming the person who can really go after your dreams and actually make them happen. This is me walking you through my process for the morning moment. I will help you visualize your success. I will convince you that your highest, juiciest dream for your life is absolutely possible. You can get the book. It's available on Amazon.com. I'll put a link below. Or you can get the audio program. The audio program is a lot closer to my heart because if you're like me, I have two little ones running around, two toddlers who I absolutely adore running around me at any given time. And so I don't have the time to read like I used to. And audiobooks have been my saving grace because I am an avid consumer of information. I love to learn. I love to grow. I love to get ideas that are going to make me grow and do better in life. And so audio programs have been just my saving grace over the last few months when my life has gotten super busy. So the audio program enables you to just push play. You don't have to pick up a book to read it. All you have to do is wake up. Have your iPhone, your tablet, your music player somewhere close by, and all you have to do is hit play. It can't get much easier than that. And listen to each day for 30 plus days as I walk you through the process of becoming your most magnificent self. I mean, it seriously can't get much easier than that. For a limited time, I'm offering the introduction to this program and the first day for free. I want you to be able to test it out and see for yourself just how amazing this makes you feel. So you can download that right now. Just click that link below and you can download the first day to get you started. Save it. I know you're going to be tempted to listen to it today, and go ahead and listen to the introduction. But save day one until your next morning moment. So if you're listening to this in the evening or the afternoon, wait until tomorrow and just hit play and listen to it first thing in the morning. And then notice how much more power you have throughout the day. I know that this is going to have a profound impact on your life because this is information that I have studied and implemented in my own life, and it has had a profound impact on me. So I want you to listen to it. I want you to experience it firsthand. And even if you only listen to it for a day, even if you never buy the audio program, at least that's one day that I know that you were tapped in. And once you experience it for one day, I know that you're going to come back to it. I know that you're going to want to implement it in your life as a regular practice because it's just that powerful. I'm doing something really cool with all the money I earned from the program. I've decided to donate part of my proceeds to two very important organizations. And these organizations were founded by two of our very own courage warriors. If you've been following along through Crazy Courage, you know David Alt and Alexandra Russell. Alex started an organization called Urban Light. And this organization is in Thailand, and she helps young boys transition out of the sex trafficking trade and into more productive lives. She is really impacting lives. She's changing lives. She even lives in Thailand part-time, which is just amazing. To start this organization, she sold her wedding ring because that's just how passionate she was about making a difference in this arena. So part of the money that I make from the sales of these products will go to Alex's organization, Urban Light, and the other part will go to David Alt's organization. David Alt has founded an amazing organization. He was even arrested when he was trying to start this organization. It's in Cambodia, and he has a school in Cambodia that teaches the youth. He also is creating fresh water wells in Cambodia so that the people have access to fresh water. David is doing amazing things. If you saw his interview, David is like my hero. He is so amazing, and he really does stay true to his inner courage. So I'm so excited to be able to support both of their organizations with part of the money that I make from the sales of these products. Look, I know how you feel. You have big dreams, huge dreams that haunt you regularly, and you're just not quite sure how to get from where you are to where you want to be. Let me walk with you. Let me show you exactly what I did to get out of living my Plan B life, to live in a life that I'm just absolutely in love with, to live in a life where I follow divine inspiration and I feel like I'm doing exactly what I was put here to do. Let me show you exactly what I did. If you know anyone who can benefit from this information, please send them this video. This is information that I want as many people as possible to see, because just the information in this video alone can be life-changing, can give you that aha moment, that inspiration that you need to really kick your life into gear. And don't forget to click that button below because I'm giving you the first day for free. You can start to experience this for yourself and see just how powerful it is and helping you make the shifts in your life that you really want to make. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm Kiana Miner, creator of the Crazy Courage Blueprint, wishing you much joy, love, and crazy courage.